So everyone, once again, just step in. He's going to go through his deck real fast here, explain what's inside of it. So
yeah, so this is Nethroi, and it's all about just reanimating usually a bunch of small creatures. I do have some larger ones. So mainly works with Scourge of the Skyclaves here. Because Scourge of the Skyclaves has star and its power and toughness are equal to 20 minus the highest life total, that is always being done, even if it's in the grave. So if someone has 40 life, it technically has minus 20 power, which means with Nethroi, I can bring back up to 30 power of creatures. So that's a huge combo piece with it. Otherwise, got a lot of small things. Zulapur Cutthroat, Wood Elves. Sakura Tribe-Elder is big because you can keep reanimating it from the grave while you're sacrificing it as well, get a bunch of lands. Belukronos and Phantom Deshova both have 0 power, but they enter with multiple +1/+1 counters. So that way you're getting big creatures on the field while not really expending any of Nethroi's cost. Delighted Halfling, Blood Artist is a nice 0/1 just to ping people for damage. Orin Frostfang has a big butt, but it doesn't have a lot of attack, and it lets you draw a lot of cards, which is nice. Same thing with Necrobloom. You're going to be playing a lot of lands from your grave and just drawing so many that you're going to get a bunch of nice zombie tokens. Viscera Sierra, Orcish Bowmasters, Toski, Stitch Supplier, all of these super low power creatures eventually just overwhelm the board so that you're either going to have plenty of mana or milling lots of creatures into the grave so that you just have more and more assets to use through the game. Elvish Mystic, Stinkweed Imp. This, having something with Dredge on it is huge, especially Dredge 5. Potentially you're getting 5 more creatures into the grave for you to reanimate. Solemn Simulacrum, Fiend Artisan. Fiend Artisan is a phenomenal sack outlet for this because you're going to get rid of your small creatures, bring them back after you mutate Violent onto something, and you can start getting your big guys out, as well as Fiend Artisan is going to get bigger while you have those creatures in the grave. Ravenous Chupacabra. Grist is a nice little mill engine on the backside, as well as if you have a bunch of creatures and you're unable to mutate Violent at the time, you can make tokens of all the creatures in your grave, but they're 1/1 insects. Rex Sage, Glowstone Recluse, another Dredge in Golgari Grave Troll, also a 0/0, so you can bring it back and it gets a +1/+1 for each creature in your graveyard. Birds of Paradise, Haywire Mite, some nice artifact and enchantment destruction that you can keep recurring. Eternal Witness to get back all your mutate cards or some extra instants or sorceries that you might need. And Feybarrow Elder, which is a nice 0/0 that will most likely tap for 3 mana. The other creatures that aren't as small are Insatiable Hemophage, Auspicious Sterret, Gem Razor, Necropanther, Dirgebat, Boneyard Lurker, Migratory Greathorn, Chittering Harvester, and Cub Warden. These are pretty much all the Abzan, minus like 2 or 3 of them. These are all the Abzan cards that can mutate, which you want in your hand. You don't really want them in your graveyard. That way you're not paying for Nethroi's ridiculous mutate costs, especially because you're going to be sacrificing Nethroi a lot if you have to keep if you want to keep mutating. The other ones are Underrealm Lich, just good for getting stuff in your grave. Elish Norn, which is just a 4, but it makes everything that you have bigger, and it's Elish Norn, it's ridiculous. Cold Blood for some fighting. This is the Luminous Broodmoth, which is great because you're going to be sacrificing a lot of creatures, bringing them back as flyers, sacrifice them again just to get more value. Skull Prophet is a nice little mill and Mana Dork. Mosswood Dread Knight, you're going to be playing both sides of this, the sorcery and the creature, and you can recur both of them really nicely. And Blossoming Tortoise to get more lands in and out of your graveyard. A couple instants and sorceries, we got Deadly Dispute just for sacking, Cultivation, Crucible of Worlds because you're going to be having a ton of lands in your grave, you might as well play them. Elven Chorus, turn all your creatures into Mana Dorks as well as play your creatures from the top of your deck. Vindicate, just some nice, easy destruction. Guardian Project, you're going to be playing a lot of creatures, you might as well draw a lot of cards. Trailblazer Boots, everyone's going to be playing non-basics. This way you can get in with Nethroi if you end up only with Nethroi on the field. Culling Ritual, this is great because this will allow you, if a lot of people are ramping early, destroy all their mana rocks, mana dorks, and then you can bring Nethroi out really early. Altar of Dimension for milling, Soul Ring, Bastion of Remembrance, because you are basically playing an Aristocrats deck. This is nice. Buried Alive, get 3 creatures into your grave. Usually it's Scourge of the Skyclaves and 2 other smaller guys. Same with Entomb. Usually you want to get something smaller. If you got a lot of stuff already in the grave, grab Scourge of the Skyclaves. Eerie Ultimatum if you can't get Violent back out. Mythos of Nethroi just for some more destruction. Swords of Plowshare, Arcane Signet, Kodama's Reach, Corpse Turn to put some stuff back into your hand if you have any of your mutate creatures in the grave. Light from the Loam to get more lands out of your grave, as well as Dredge. Obscuring Haze to try to save yourself. Flowering of the White Tree to give Violence some protection, and Wrath of God because you're going to be able to get your stuff back nice and easy, not so much for other people. And then go through the lands super quick. Lands, just do it however you feel. I don't think land base is a great thing to talk about just because everyone's land needs are different based on what you put in there. But I've got Forest, Minas Tirith, Command Tower, Isolated Chapel, Vault of Champions, Lush Portico. I will say the Surveil lands, you should have them in here just because you can put more cards into your grave. Plains, Lotus Field, Undergrowth Stadium, Swamp Forest, Llanowar Waste. The Pain lands aren't too bad because Nethroi does have lifelink, so you're going to be getting that life back. Sun Petal Grove, Indotha Triome, Godless Shrine. Grey Havens is nice just because you can get some mana fixing for your commander. Marsh Flats, Temple Gardens, Caves of Koilos, Murky Catacombs, Overgrown Tomb, and just a couple other basic lands. But that's everything in my Nethroi deck.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right.